Hello folks, I'm Peter Chittenden from Deal, Kent, England. Right, this is a one-man band drum that I used to use Busker in 1976, 75, 76. I earned a living doing this. I'm using this with a drum on my back. I'm just going to show you what it is. I've only just got this off of the wall, and I've not played it since 2007. I went out on a Thursday afternoon, did a couple of hours, come back with about 70 quid. It's a good crowd puller and a money earner. This newspaper's in here, right, so that it dampens the sound, because I don't want to ring if I'm going to play it fast. I want more of a thud, so I get a rather than a ringing sound, right? I've designed it and made it so when you let the drum go, that when you're playing that, when you let it go, you get a cymbal. Okay? Now, when I first made one of these, it was long, and I had metal on it, metal steel rather than aluminium on the back of it. Okay? It used to cut into my shoulders, so I got a thinner drum, like this old one, so you've not got so much leverage pulling your back backwards, which is good really, because I used to play this for say 5 hours a day on a Saturday singing, and it gets a bit painful at times. So what I've done, this is armour flex that you put over copper tubing on your central heating and wide bits of aluminium. Okay, so that's made that pretty light. Okay, I've just modified this. Okay, but I'll show you exactly how to make it and what to do. And also, if you can't find a narrow drum, then what you could do, you could make two of them, you and your mate or whatever. You could get a drum like that, cut it in the middle, strengthen it round, and alter the bits so that you could tighten the skin up, because you only really need one skin on one side. Okay? Now, I've got rid of the spring idea. Right, what is wrong with that? All the buskers going back to the 70s and that, all the buskers, they used to put elastic bands on there, because if you want a double beat, you get it's going back quicker, better than any spring. So they changed that. This is just a hook off of some light fitting by the look of it. It's hard to remember because I've done this about 50 years ago. I'll be 75 Friday. Right. So I've just got it off and I've slightly modified the cymbal, because the cymbal didn't used to sound very good. Back to the pedal. If you get a pedal and they've got a flat bottom, you need to make a piece of wood and curve it so it will glue in there to give you a flat surface to bolt it on. And then I've put a hole in the bottom, and this is heavy duty nylon cord. This has been in here since the beginning, years. And where I've put that item in there, I've designed it so it can't cut or tear it. Okay? Right, now that's that. There is a pickup in this, so it would plug in, you know, if you wanted to do gigs in pubs and that. Right. This cymbal, I've drilled it out with a load of bifurcated rivets. I'll put them in there to give it a bit of a slight rattle, yeah? And I've just modified this by putting a stainless steel 6mm screw in there and tightening that up, because that goes on there. Then I've got a spring on there, yeah? Then I'm putting this on there with this bolt and washer to hold them close together. Okay, so if you push that down, that's probably a spring off a motorbike valve now and then. Right, if I tighten that up now, right, now if you look sideways, there's a gap there, slight gap between the end of that M6 stainless bolt with a dome head on it and the other one. So if you're playing the drum and you're singing and playing, you want to let go, you get a cymbal, or you can play whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's basically that. Now, this nylon cord is connected up to a dog clip. You see all the marks on this, where I've had this, what, 50 years? and it still works good, the spring. And what you do is where that comes out of there, you can adjust the rope, so you're standing in the right position, so you're not leaning back too far or forward, because you're going to balance with one foot as you tap it. Right, this shoe, I've put a pilot hole in the bottom of the shoe, and as you can see, this is a screw with the head cut off and bent round. Yeah, and then what you do is you screw it in the back of your shoe, okay, so that when you tap your heel, you're going to get this, to pull the string. Okay, so we tighten that up to there. Right, and then this will hang on your equipment, and when you walk along you can just clip this in the back, and then you're away. Right, I'm going to tape this back up with some gaffer tape, okay, and I'm going to put an elastic band around this hook, because sometimes if you let go of the cymbal, it's possible that this clip, and it's a wind up, this clip can go down and get jammed and do that to you, which is a wind up when you're in the middle of a song. Right, so that's basically that. All these shoes, every pair of shoes I've had, they all eventually split across here because you're doing this with them. Right, that's that basically. Right, because you're going to use a tambourine, I'm going to use a tambourine under the arm. We've got two here strapped together with cable ties and all sorts of things. Where you need a pad here, because when you're tapping this and you're doing this when you're singing, you knock yourself out of breath and it's uncomfortable, so you need to put some kind of foam on it to pad it. Now on here, if you just hit this straight with your elbow, after a little while you'll find you'll get a bruise, and then blood starts coming and all that. I've been there, done that. So what I've got now is I've got skateboard pad, elbow pad off a skateboard, okay. Now you can use that type, or you've got the choice, you could use a hard type, so it lit it harder, okay. It's up to you, whatever you want to play it. Right, that's that. This is a homemade harmonica brace I'm using. I made these out of pieces of quarter brass roughly. It's a shame nowadays you can't braze these together because they're not compatible. You get Z131 and Z121. One's bendable, one's machinable. It's a complete nightmare. I've had to silver solder these in here instead of braze them, which is a bit of a pain. These are air bands, okay, just women's hair bands a few times around there. You can undo these to change them if they get a bit knackered. I'm using Lee Oscar harmonicas because they're louder. There's much more volume, and you need the volume if you're out there playing. You know, that kind of thing. Or if you're blues, it's louder, right? That's that. Okay. The other thing, the guitar I'm using is, this is a 1963 Harmony Sovereign that was 56 guineas in 1963. It's still in good nick, lovely sounding guitar, good action and all that. Not too knocked about. Oh, glory! It's a shame to screw a screw in the back of there, but I've put that in there for the strap, because if you start playing with a strap on the end, it gets in the way, whereas this is straight down there. And also, if you're playing and you're tapping with your elbow, if you start trying to play with G shapes and things or Fs down here, you're doing that and it's not going to happen. So that is why when Don Partridge years ago had a hit with that song called Rosie, he had a cap on the 5th fret, 12-string guitar, so he was on the G up here so that he could use his elbow better and he get a kind of Rosie, oh Rosie, and that kind of thing. Right, I can sing reasonably good in the key of F. So if you use a D shape and you're up on the capo 3, the 3rd fret with a D shape, then that's good for playing in the key of F. which is good really. And the good thing about using a Busker harmonica, you can get a low F. Now what I used to busk, I used to use the Honers, and they were really, an E and F was really loud and squeaky, which wasn't so good as where you get a low F, you can get much more of an octave down tune really on there. Right, just basic rhythms on here. What I'm basically doing is, the basic rhythm is down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, which you get a, I need a plectrum to this, but then you get a, well, circle, and then you can obviously get your elbow and all that going. I'll show you that in a minute anyway. I don't think I've forgot anything to tell you here. And don't forget, if you can't get a narrow old drum, get a big one and cut it in half and see how you get on. You can always strengthen it up with little bendable bits of thin plywood and then build them up and up and up to do it. So basically, I don't think there's much more that I can show you on that apart from doing a demonstration and doing a song. This is one of my own songs I wrote back in the 70s. It's called Caroline. just give you a quick demonstration. It's much easier to use the tambourine. I've got that banging sound because I'm using the elbow pad. I can make that softer, but it doesn't matter. It's just a demonstration as well. I'm a bit puffed out from that last time because I'm not used to doing this. I used to do it every day, and obviously get into the swing of it. But if you haven't done it like me for about, well, what, 17 years? No, 13 years. But basically, if you've got a capo up here and you're playing G shapes, that makes this a C chord. Yes, that's a C harmonica. It sounded like a do as well. So you can use that as well, but I find the metal ones are better than the other ones. Anyway, this, you can kind of still get the... So, you know, you can stop playing your instrument and still keep the tambourine thing going. And also, because I haven't done it for ages, I didn't put any double drum beats, what we were doing just now, in it. Whereas if I was going to go, something like that, you can fit all them in where you want. And when I was familiar with playing it every day, I was just putting them in, it just came natural.